Hey y'all, welcome to the channel. Today we're talking about bees, those small but mighty critters that have been buzzing around for millions of years and doing a whole lot more than just making honey. Let's kick things off with a little history lesson. The earliest evidence of beekeeping comes from about 9,000 years ago, with folks in what's now Turkey finding beeswax on their pottery. Ancient Egyptians were among the first to organize beekeeping about 4,500 years ago, using honey in religious ceremonies, medicine, and even embalming. The Greeks and Romans were big fans of honey too, but back then folks didn't really understand how bees did their magic. It wasn't until the 17th century that we started to figure out the science behind bees. Jan Swammerdam, a Dutch naturalist, discovered that worker bees were female and noted the importance of the queen bee. Then in the 19th century, Charles Darwin's work on natural selection brought more attention to how bees pollinate plants, making folks realize just how crucial bees are to our food supply. As for honey, humans have been collecting it for ages. We've got cave paintings from 8,000 years ago showing folks harvesting honey from wild bee nests. But it wasn't until much later that we figured out how bees turn nectar into honey. By the 18th century, scientists like Francois Huber were studying bees in detail, learning how they collect nectar, store it, and transform it into honey with the help of enzymes. Now let's talk about where bees are today. Bees aren't just hanging around in certain places. They're pretty much everywhere. You can find bees on every continent except Antarctica, thriving in all sorts of climates, from hot deserts to cool forests. There are over 20,000 species of bees, and they've adapted to live in all kinds of environments. But does the whole world value bees like we do here? Well, it varies. In many parts of the world, bees are treasured for their role in pollination and honey production. Countries like New Zealand, with their famous Manuka honey, and Ethiopia, where beekeeping is a centuries-old tradition, hold bees in high regard. However, not everywhere understands or prioritizes bees as much as we should, which is why raising awareness is so important. And what about honey? What makes some honey better than others? It all comes down to the flowers bees visit. Different flowers produce different flavors of honey, like the rich, earthy taste of Manuka honey from New Zealand, or the light, citrusy notes of orange blossom honey. The purity of the honey and how it's processed also make a big difference. Raw, unfiltered honey tends to be the most flavorful and packed with nutrients. So, how do we get that sweet honey out of the combs? Beekeepers use a process called extraction. First, they remove the frames from the beehive, which are covered in honeycomb. Then, they use an extractor, a machine that spins the frames to fling the honey out of the combs. The honey is then filtered to remove any bits of wax or debris. It's a careful process that ensures we get that liquid gold without harming the bees or their hive. Let's not forget the bigger picture here. Bees do a whole lot more than just make honey. They pollinate about a third of the food we eat, everything from apples to almonds to, believe it or not, chocolate. But here's the kicker. Bees are in trouble. Pesticides, habitat loss, and climate change are making it tough for bees to do their job. And when bees struggle, so does our entire ecosystem. So what can we do? Planting bee-friendly flowers like lavender, daisies, and sunflowers is a great start. Avoiding harsh chemicals in your garden helps too. And if you can, support your local beekeepers by buying their honey. Every little bit counts when it comes to helping these hard-working critters. And don't forget, spreading the word is just as important. Let folks know why bees matter and how they can help. Together, we can make sure our buzzy little buddies stick around for generations to come. All right, that's all I've got for y'all today. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that subscribe button and share it with your friends. Let's keep this buzz going. See y'all next time.